Frank, let's talk about something old that's new again because I'm excited about it, which is Amazon.
What? You can't be excited about Amazon. That's like being excited about a piece of grass. Though I guess maybe that might be worth it. Okay, before I diverge, why are you excited about Amazon?
The Amazon App Store.
Oh, the thing I keep saying I should get my apps on and make sure my apps are on, but my apps aren't on.
Yes.
That store?
That store, yes. Okay, so when we think about Android development, it's very unique. When you think about iOS development or Windows development or Mac development, the part there is like you ship it to an app store. But for Android apps, there's a plethora of different app stores that you could ship your app to. The main one is Google Play, which we've talked about, and where all of my apps and your apps exist today. However, there are these Amazon devices. I don't know if you've heard of them, Frank Kruger, called
Yeah.
Fire devices, and they're tablets, and bajillions of people own these tablets. And you want to know what else, Frank? Also,
Hmm?
bajillions of people own? He's looking at me for people not watching. Windows devices.
Oh, okay. Well,
And
yeah, that's probably more than a bajillion, but yeah, okay.
did you know that if you have your app, your Android app, on the Amazon App Store, it can be on all those Fire devices, and also it could be on all those Windows 11 devices because you can install Android apps through the Amazon App Store, which is on Windows 11, which is something that I just did, Frank.
Okay, so that's why it's new to you, James. That's why we're talking about, because I swear we talked about this a year or two ago. Time has no meaning anymore. We never talk about anything. And sadly, I kind of forgot, but I was thinking I should look into this. I'm very curious what the experience is like because an Android app is very different from a Windows app. And as native UI app developers, I'm really curious in how they feel, how the app feels under Windows and all that kind of stuff. But maybe first we need to backtrack a little bit. You said there was a plethora of stores. What other stores are there? Because I'm a big dummy. I know about the Google Play Store. I did know about the Amazon store. Can you just name one or two others just so I don't feel like a big dummy anymore?
There's a Huawei store for Huawei devices.
Okay.
And then there's probably other
Is there a Samsung
ones.
store? There's always a Samsung store.
I think there might be a Samsung store as well. Yeah, there you go. So does Samsung? Does
Okay.
Google have a product? Because Samsung probably has something very similar to it.
Okay. Anyway, just I was just curious. What other stores? What other markets was I losing out on? Okay, so
Yeah.
totally losing out on Amazon because I never wanted to read the docs to see how to submit to them. I believe I signed up for a developer account and everything, though. Maybe I even got into the console. So let's start there. What's the developer console like?
The developer console is pretty. It reminds me of Google Play from 5 or 6, 7 years ago. Like very simple,
I
which
like
is a good
simple.
thing.
It should be simple.
Yeah.
Amazon product pages aren't known for being great. So I think simple's good in this case.
It's very simple. You create a new app, and when you go into an app, it has here's the current version, add a new version, live app testing, so manage test users, in-app purchases, app services. So app
Ooh,
services would be real-time notifications, maps, single sign-on, device
right.
messaging, logging with Amazon, and promotions, and that's it.
Nope. I mean, it's more than I was expecting, but I guess in-app purchases are table stakes. They've been running this store for a while, so they must have
Yeah.
had all that integrated. I remember the old problems with like being off of the Play Store were like Google Maps. Do they have? So you said Amazon has their own mapping service. That's roughly it. That's
Yeah.
blowing my mind itself. I didn't know Amazon. I wonder where they're getting their data from.
Well, let's specifically talk about that because you could just take your Amazon or your Android app and shove it into a release. However, there are things just aren't going to work. It might work, right? If you did File, Hello, New World, and submitted that app, or let's say you did
Yeah.
a to-do app, right? Or let's say you
Hmm.
did my Animal Crossing app, which just talked to web APIs in the back end, right?
Yeah.
It's just an Android app. It doesn't use any services. It doesn't have any sign on. It doesn't have any push notifications. It doesn't have in-app
In-app
purchases. It's
purchase.
just here. It's an app. It's a paid. It's a paid app. Frank loves paid apps. Imagine you have an app that's paid, like an app like iCircuit,
Should
and
be.
it's not doing anything besides being a wonderful app that you pay money for and you get a thing. You could take that app today, as long as it doesn't use any Google services at all, and you shove it into the Amazon App Store, and boom, it just works. And it'll
That
get approved. You resubmit it, and you're good to go.
Okay. Well, we got to talk about the submitting process, but I mean that sounds fine. I was hoping for that, and that's why I generally had the policy, especially around iCircuit, of no dependencies. So that's the way I live. So I'm pretty sure my app would go over pretty well, pretty well. I do worry about some things though, like the skinning of the apps and everything. But I guess the skinning of androids are wild and various throughout the world, and I don't test on a million devices anyway, so they'll probably be okay on the Android devices also. And by the way, I never did comment back on this because you moved along. I love me Fire devices. I'm a big Fire device fan. I have a couple over here, and I used to give them as gifts all the time until I realized a lot of kids already had Fire devices. So then I wasn't able to give Fire devices as gifts anymore. So now I got to
Yeah.
find a new product.
And I'll say this, like taking that, let's say you just have an APK or an Android app bundle, an AAB, both of those formats are supported, which is great. And you don't need to sign it or do anything. They'll re-sign
Okay.
everything. They manage it just like Google does, which is a big improvement. Done.
So you
Um,
upload it unsigned. They don't even check your developer signature.
it says here that they're just gonna re-sign it. Doesn't matter.
Okay. It's less secure, but it's easier. So great.
They got it. It doesn't even matter. So that's pretty nice. Now you drop it in, and then you can decide what devices you want to support. So it'll read the manifest, and it'll say, "Hey, do you want to?" We see that it can support phones and tablets. This version of
Hmm.
Android. So my app that I submitted is my skiing app. It supports 20 Android tablets and phones. It says
Okay.
11 that are unsupported, probably because they're older
Mhm.
versions of Android that I don't support. It does not support Fire TV or automotive because I don't have that in the manifest.
Let's get technical for a minute. How do you declare your minimum version? You're declaring a minimum Android version, I assume, not uh, Fire version or anything like that.
That is correct. In the Android manifest, which actually it shows you in the portal, which is a nice feature, it'll show you what permissions you need. And then additionally, it will show you in the Android manifest, there is a minimum SDK version. It says Fire TV devices are based on Android level 22. Fire
22.
OS 6 is based on level 25. And then some other min SDK. So mine is 21, which is almost all of them.
Oh,
So these are like real old
that
Fire
must be
devices.
real old Fire devices.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I was curious which, because I was seeing about bumping mine up too. So
21,
22,
22,
21.
22, 22. Yeah. And then there's this thing which is non-Amazon Android devices, which is fascinating. It says 100 plus supported, 112 unsupported, because the Amazon App Store, like I think it ships on devices that don't have Google Play type of thing. They're not Amazon devices, but they might be like little set top boxes or like little tablets or whatever.
Are they including any of the Echo family of Dingus devices? Are they listed under any of these? Like, I'm thinking the one with the screen. Would
I
that
don't.
support any apps, or is that still app free?
Let me look. Well, so this is kind of cool because I can click on it. No, this is all Fire HD devices. This says all the way back to 2014. My thing supports. So we're talking 9 years. It says non-Amazon devices. There's some devices from Asus, from BlackBerry. It says Google. I mean,
Okay.
I don't really know. I guess it says there's one on here. So maybe these are ones that they've tested the Amazon App Store on, or like it works on. And you can control if you're like, no, I only want this app on,
Yeah.
on these devices. You can toggle what devices it's available on, which is like really granular. But then there's a checkbox. It's a magical checkbox, which is Windows devices, and you just flip it on.
Okay, so when you were talking about the other devices, I was about to interject and say, well, that is business synergy. That is good capitalism. The way they're like getting their products into other people's products, so their products can be in other people's products, and then you ended it with, and then there's a checkbox for the ultimate in corporate synergy. You just click the checkbox. Is it instantaneous? I love instantaneous checkboxes. Or do you have to hit apply? It would be
It's
less
a
famous.
it's a UI toggle, so it's a toggle, right? It's an instantaneous toggle. Which my favorite.
I love it. Okay. Can I have the store open side by side and toggle it and see it removed and added to the store? Okay.
I don't know. I did
I'm just
just
playing.
that.
I love single click UIs. I love them. Remember when Mac Catalyst first came out and Xcode? Apple was pretty proud of, and for to their credit, should be a single checkbox. You check the box and you got a Mac Catalyst app. I love
Boom.
single checkbox UIs. Um, that's funny because Kelka is a Win32 app, and uploading that thing to the store it's a little bit of a pain in the butt. It's a little bit of work because it's a Win32 app, and the store wasn't really designed for Win32 apps in the beginning. It's totally possible you get the right certs and you do the right thing, and it uploads. And so I'm just a little bit jealous that you clicked the check mark and now you're on Windows. But okay, please continue.
Well, and some people may be wondering, well, James, you are a Xamarin and .NET MAUI developer. You've built Windows applications and ship Windows stores to the apps, to the Windows Microsoft App Store, like my Stream Timer. Why wouldn't you just do that for the other ones? And the good question is this, is I just didn't design my skiing app or my Cadence application for Windows devices or tablets. I just didn't do it. I didn't add it
Yeah.
on because I kind of made it a mobile first, design. And that's where I tested it. And I could go do that and could go through that process, but maybe I just want my app to be on there and like not have to do anything else. Like, so I just did it mostly as an experiment, and I went
No,
through it and it was cool.
stop backpedaling. This is the real world. If you can put yourself on a marketplace that you're not otherwise at, I mean, if they're yelling at you and being like, "Why don't you have a Windows version?" Just say, "Because my time is limited and resources are limited."
Yeah.
If you can click a checkbox and be on another market, I'm saying this to myself, everyone, but I'm going to say it to you. Go click the checkbox because a free market is a free market. Be in that market. I don't like this idea that, and okay, it's my fault too because earlier in the episode and I do want to get back to the look and feel of these apps as a
Mm-hmm.
native developer. I like the feel of native apps, and I want to get to that, but um, I would rather the app exist in the market first, and then you
Yep.
can refine the look and feel
Well,
afterwards.
it's
Get it
the
in there.
same thing, right? Which is like, why are iOS applications available on Mac? Or if you do a Mac Catalyst checkbox, they're available even easier. Is because I'd rather be in another market if my app works and is there, right? Like, in fact, I'm
Yeah.
in two markets because now I'm on Fire devices and I'm on Windows devices. Like, with one drag and drop, I'm on two markets. It's kind of cool.
Okay, I gotta get to work. Okay,
Yep.
thanks.
Now
You're
the
convincing me.
rest, I have never submitted an app faster to an app store in my entire life. Because Frank, all I did was drag and drop it in. It
Mhm.
processes. There's availability and pricing. So this is just a free app. I don't have anything. It's just free. That checkbox. Description.
Wait, James, it didn't complain that you don't have an iPhone 5S screenshot?
No. Oh, okay. We'll get there. Hold on.
Okay, but that's gonna be different from your iPhone 7 screenshot.
Oh, exactly. Okay. So we'll get there. So description, easy peasy, copy paste. There is images and multimedia.
Okay, we'll get
And,
there.
and Frank, I was like, oh, I'm clever. I will just take my images from the Google Play Store and I will put them in to the Amazon App Store because
Clever?
They're Android apps.
I Yes, and this is also going back to what I said. Like when I think of the Fire UI, it's and no shame, it's a very simple UI. I like it because it's clear. Like
Yeah.
uh, that might also be my fault. I keep buying the kids editions of these things, but I like them. It's a solid gray rectangle with a solid blue rectangle at the bottom. You know what's a button. You know what's a text box. I like the nice simple UI.
Yeah.
Um, that's kind of what I always imagine UIs in Android looking like. And so I'd assume that you could reuse your screenshots. I like you, am clever/lazy and would try to reuse the screenshots. How'd that go?
And you would be mistaken because they have very, very specific tablet-y dimensions that they really want because all of their devices are tablets. So they're all 1280 by 800, 1920 by 1080, 1080 by or 1280 by 720, right? So they're all these dimensions. So what I
So,
did.
wait, can I interrupt? Because this is a new trick I've learned, everyone,
Uh-oh.
and I want to see if you applied the same trick. So I'm going to say it first. So back in the day, when you were on the Apple App Store, there was a guideline that said your screenshots have to be actual screenshots from the app. Like
Yeah.
the top left pixel is the top left pixel on the phone, the bottom right pixel is the bottom right pixel. Somewhere in the last 12 to 20 years that I've been doing this, that guideline got relaxed to the point where absolutely no one does screenshots anymore. What
Yeah.
you do is a cute little color gradient background, and then you squeeze your other screenshots in to fit into that color background and put some clever little AI generated text on there.
Yeah.
That's what you should do. So, what I'm hoping you did is that exact problem if you just reframed all of these, the cute little AI generated text background.
Now, I actually have those cute ones already for my cadence. So when I go through that, that's what I be what I do for those. However, Frank, what I did is I ran my app on Windows 11. I went into fancy zones and I made a 1280 by 720 zone, snapped my app to that size, and then took a screenshot at 1280 by 720 on 3 different screens, and I uploaded those photos.
Wait, I'm confused. Um, So, okay, we skipped over a huge part of the development cycle and went straight to distribution. You were able to test these apps on Windows? Like you could run them in the way they're going to run when someone purchases your app?
I went into Visual Studio. I installed the Windows subsystem for Android Barista, which
Mm-hmm.
automatically connects and boots up the WSA. I hit
Okay.
debug and it just
Mm-hmm.
worked on my machine.
Okay. Absolutely fantastic because that is a large. Okay. It's just what a house of cards. Anyway, wonderful. So, what's wrong with your screenshots? Like, were they accurate to the pixel? Because I've tried to do that before, and I get into the game where you're like trying to crop. Like, did you manually crop? Because like I would try to move the cursor to the upper left, and you're off by a pixel. But I use a touchpad, so it's really hard. And then you move it one more pixel, and then you drag. But then oh no, the lower right corner is not in the view. And does this app support? So anyway, James. Was that really easier than just going out and purchasing 10 Fire devices?
That's definitely, it was way easier. It took like 5 seconds. So that's what I did. I just uploaded some images, uploaded my app icons, Frank, and that was mostly it, to be honest. There's content rating, and then I
Yeah.
hit submit, and then I submitted it to the App Store. Now,
God,
you're
it's like
right.
early app store. I love it.
We skipped because you were so interested in it because we
Yeah.
skipped over all the hard parts. This was the easiest, fastest part of the entire process. And once I
Okay.
had that APK, I was like, this is great, right? Let me just
Mhm.
honestly, bingo bango, done, totally good to go. Simplified. I loved it. Not a
That's how it
problem.
should be. Do you remember? I mean, the App Store was always notorious for its long review cycles, but it was a simpler days. We didn't do the
No.
test flights. You got it working on your phone. There was only one kind of iPhone out there, so you knew it worked on everyone else's phone, and you uploaded it, and it worked on everyone else's phone because there was one
Yeah.
kind of iPhone out there. But I like that. That sounds very pleasant. Good for you.
It
Now,
was
what
great.
were the bad parts?
Okay. So now my cadence will be a little bit trickier, but the skiing app that I have is still a little bit tricky. Now I got lucky, Frank, because for my maps in the skiing app, as we talked about,
Hmm.
I am using Mapsui, which is not Google Maps.
Right. Nice
Yeah.
forethought. Look at you, not taking a
Unagi.
dependency on one of America's largest companies.
Yes. So I have not using Google Maps, which means I don't have to worry about that little kink in the system because, like I mentioned earlier, there are services that don't exist. So real time notifications, single sign on, maps, security profile thingy, device messaging, login with Amazon. Those are services you need to do.
Did
Additionally,
you sorry, did you have to upgrade that library at all, or did the one that you have already just work smoothly?
just worked like butter.
Nice. Good.
Yeah,
Very
just worked.
nice.
And now the reason I am using that is because it's like a topological map and I'm doing drawing on it. And I don't really need Google Maps. I want all my maps to look the same and it's more about the route on the map than anything else. But it is nice because I can pick profiles and do stuff. And that was nice because this app was a Xamarin Forms app originally. And uh, the support was not added in Xamarin Forms, but it's there now in .NET MAUI to do all the geometry and drawing on a map.
Right.
So it's like, well, Mapsui supports .NET MAUI as well. So it's like, oh, cool, just bingo bango, good to go, right? Now, the biggest thing, though, is in-app purchases. And if there's one thing I love, Frank, is I love a good in-app purchase.
Well, okay, I like in-app purchase. What I don't like about in-app purchase is testing.
Yeah.
So I want to know how the testing process goes with this because yeah, for me, I write in-app purchase code once every 2 years and always manage to completely forget it by the next time I have to write it again. Um, that's writing it. I mean testing. So how was testing in-app purchase?
Well, so the fascinating part is this, Frank, is that I have an in-app billing library. Now, I think someone else also has one that also supports Amazon in-app billing. I don't
Uh,
support it myself, but there's interfaces that you could do it. Now, this application had subscriptions, it had single purchases for donations. There wasn't like a pro mode, it's a skiing app, it's more of a donation based app. When I get to my cadence and putting in the store, it actually is an app that I have a pro mode
yeah.
in general. So we'll figure out what I need to do there. But Frank, what I decided to do is a little conditional compilation, a little condition and a little defined constants called Amazon release. And if Amazon release, just conditionally compile out all of that in-app billing code. Just get out of here. Bye-bye. Gone. I don't even need you. So, okay, so I cheated Frank because this app, I just stripped out all the in-app billing and I decided for this release, I'm just going to get it onto the App Store. It's
Okay.
free. It's free. It's out there into the ether, Frank. In general, I'll tell you what I'm going to do for my cadence,
You
and
know,
we'll see what if you approve or not. But this was cool. I went into Visual Studio, opened the CS Proj, copied the release, put a new, constant release Amazon. So I could do pound if release Amazon. Anywhere that I use my in-app billing code, I stripped it out. Additionally, one thing that I'm really proud of, Frank Kruger, I'm not going to lie about it, is I
uh,
used conditional compilation in the CS Proj uh, for multiple things. I'm
gets
really, really,
nasty.
I'm
Get
so
don't do too much of
proud.
this, people. Don't do.
I'm
I know. I
so
know. You
proud.
can't avoid it with .NET 7 and 8 because we try to merge everything
Mm-hmm.
together into all those. James, can I tell you? You were just sparking memories. I was going through my own code and I was just removing if Silverlight all throughout my
Yeah.
code
Mm-hmm.
because you know what? That was like 10 years ago. I don't need those if defs anymore. I can
There you go.
remove those now from my
Yeah.
code. It's never Silverlight anymore. But at the same time, I was thinking about that, and I was thinking, this is all sounding very Silverlighty. This is like how I felt when I was taking my apps and trying to make a Silverlight version of it. It was a very basic platform in the beginning, and the one I'm actually thinking about are for the Windows Phone. It was roughly the same app. Those were basically Silverlight apps.
Yeah.
They were just running on the phone, so that's why I built apps for that. And so this is funny. This is really bringing back memories of those days, you getting yourself onto the Amazon family of devices and Windows. I
Yeah. And
just
Windows.
compared. Okay.
It's there.
I
It's
just
back.
realized that I compared Windows to. Okay.
Talk about Zune UI one week, and now we're talking about stuff like the next. So I just said, hey, remove these NuGet packages if this item group if
Yeah.
it's not released. So both my in-app billing plugin and my store review plugin, because that is googly stuff in there.
So I
And
I love CS Proj hacking, but everyone it's great. You can pull off absolute miracles with a CS Proj file, but the IDE is just going to get angrier and angrier at you from then on. You'll pass a threshold at some point, and Visual Studio is just going to be like, "Your CS Proj makes absolutely no sense to me at all, and I'm giving up on you." So you haven't hit that limit. I'm just telling you,
yeah,
people, there is that limit out there. Don't hit it.
I also did one. This I'm really proud of this one. As I said, if it's the Amazon release, I have all of these. I have this page in every app that I copy and paste, and it's called Purchases page and a purchase view model. And its entire purpose is like I click 50 times and I go into this screen and I can
I
like see
love
all
it.
the history and do stuff. So I did, if the item group is Amazon or is release Amazon, compile remove, and then I did a bunch of wildcards to say remove the purchases view model. And then I did compile or remove the purchase page. Oh, and don't forget that XAML page.
Yeah.
So embedded resource remove purchase page dot star or whatever. So I literally conditionally compile out pages fully of the app because there's XML includes, and I'm like, get out of here. Yeah, pages that I don't need anymore. And then honestly, besides that, Frank, it was a few things. So it was removing code to conditionally compiling out the code that did the in-app purchases, did the checking, all this other stuff. Same thing with the review. And I submitted my app, but I also forgot to remove the UI. So they actually tested it. They tested the app and like, hey, there's a bunch of
Hmm.
buttons that say purchase subscriptions. They don't do anything. So I then gave all of my
Wait,
elements names and I hid them if it's the Amazon release. I said hide these UI elements in
yeah.
general.
Did you have like a global variable that they call it all just bind to very easily? Like I would just put that in the app resources, what platform you're on, and then everyone could just bind to that. But I'm
Mm.
curious, which UI did that surprise you, or you just forgot about that? Like, was that a
I,
UI you didn't remember?
I just forgot. I forgot that the
Yeah,
settings page. I forgot that the settings page just was like I was like, oh yeah, I've removed the code to do
yeah,
stuff, but
sure.
I forgot to remove
It's
the
XAML. It doesn't
UI.
care about your code. It's going to render the
Yeah.
UI whether it has code or not.
And then I also had to remove some of the pages like review this app or leave feedback that went into the Google Play stuff. So I removed some UI elements to it. So I think the settings screen's a little all over the place at this point. I didn't really look too hard, but beyond
Yeah.
that, they accepted it and it's in the App Store. It's live right now. Can you believe it?
Bravo, bravo. I'm a little bit jealous because I wanted to do a few small app releases this year, and I can't believe you beat me to another platform. So,
And I'm
congratulations, James.
I'm gonna do my cadence. And I'm gonna
Yeah,
put my cadence in there. I'm gonna start with my cadence pro. And it's gonna be you're gonna love this. You're gonna love it, Frank. It's gonna be a paid app. I'm gonna I'm
it has
gonna
0 downloads. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm gonna remove all
Here's
of
the
the
thing.
in-app purchases, and it's gonna be a paid app because I just don't want to re-implement it because I don't
I
know.
That's interesting because I would have to have that debate going on to that store because yeah, the world is definitely moving on to subscriptions. We've talked about it a million times on the show. But at the same time, it's Amazon. Aren't you just used to purchasing things on Amazon? Like that model
True.
is still the Amazon model. So I
I
don't have
I'm
anything
gonna do
against you
two,
just
I'm going to
putting
go
Proj.
real old school. I'm going to start with the pro version, Frank, and then I'm going to release a free version. And the free version will have a button that says upgrade to pro, and then it will
Okay.
open the app store so you buy the pro version.
That's classic. Wow. Are they
Old
gonna
school,
allow it?
baby.
Yeah, they're gonna allow it. It's gonna be fine.
They don't
I,
care.
I like it. It's almost better than freemium. Like, well, you end up with two apps. The big problem is if you had data in the apps, you'd have to find a way to share the data. But like even on Apple, you could do it all in an app group if you designed it in advance and thought
And
about
I
it.
have export import. So they could just export the data and import the data.
I was a little bit worried about your Bluetooth for that one, but then I was thinking about it. No, it's that's an Android library, right? That has nothing to do with the store or the UI or anything. So,
And here's the cool part. And I haven't tested the Bluetooth yet, but I have to imagine it's going to work because I've tested a lot of APIs on Android
mm-hmm.
apps running on Windows, like opening the maps, the connectivity,
Yeah,
geolocation. These all work seamless. So it's like the Windows subsystem for Android, if it has
somehow.
it, it'll
Yeah.
work. So it should work. I'm
Uh,
excited.
I don't even want to think about how the hardware abstraction layer for that thing works. That just boggles
Yeah.
my mind. But we'll assume it just works. I mean,
Yeah.
somehow, like I don't know. I've used virtual machines for years, like, and those have always been able to talk USB or whatever and tap into the
Yeah.
operating system, so it makes sense. Still, it's surprising. That's gonna be super cool. Because honestly, there just aren't that many Bluetooth Windows apps
Yeah.
because many Windows devices have the Bluetooth. Um, is it more common now? Do you think? Like, I guess all the laptops probably have Bluetooth. Do the
Yeah.
PCs have Bluetooth?
My computer has it right here.
PC?
Yeah, PC. It's built
Desktop.
into like the Wi-Fi chips all now. It's all
That's
integrated on the
nice.
Mobo. Yeah, it's
Good.
all there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Neat. Neat. So the app has a chance. So we skipped over one other thing. It's just been at the back of my head. How do your apps show up in the Windows Store? Because I made us jump straight to the developer console on the Amazon side. I'm
Mhm.
curious how that translates on over to what it looks like on
It's a good
Windows.
question. I don't know. So that's a good question, and I'm glad that you asked. Now, I believe I don't I'm going to test it right now. So, my app is available in live and it should be there.
This is live, everyone. I'm very excited. Are you purchasing your own app? Oh
I
no,
j-
this one's free.
I just typed in the ski app that I have for Meisner. Well, cool. Okay, so this is cool. It just shows up and it says get it from the Amazon App Store. So there must be some synergy between it. So when you enable it, you basically sign into your Amazon account and then it installs from the Amazon App Store. So if you
Okay,
go to
so that was
purchase
the
it and
thing
do
I was
stuff.
wondering. I was curious if they were going to like embed a web view or something into the Windows Store, but no, they just tell you, is there at least a button that'll kick you out
Yeah,
to it?
there's a button and it launches the Amazon App Store and then opens your app and then you install it because the Android apps are installed there, but at least there's synergy between them. So it seems like
Hmm.
the compatible apps from the Amazon App Store are at least indexed into the Microsoft Store, which is nice.
Great.
So
I was
amazing.
table stakes a little bit, but I was. That's good to hear. I because
Yeah.
otherwise, I mean, that's the whole point is to be in that marketplace, right? I mean, could talk about users and you want to make the world happy, but marketplace, you want to make sure that uh, your beautiful ad copy, your not AI written ad copy, is available on the Windows Store. Did all your
Just all
screenshots show up? All
they
of them?
did. They did.
Neat.
They did. Now, here's the
Full circle. They
full
started on
circle.
Windows and got all the way back to Windows.
All the way back. Now, you did ask something interesting, which was, hey, Amazon devices, they have a different UI look and feel. And same with Windows. There's a whole, Windows
Yeah.
apps look all different. Like, how does your app look? It looks like an Android app because it
Yeah.
is an Android app.
Is there a
So
back button and a home button? None of
there
those,
is,
right?
there's a
There
back
is.
button on the top left. Yeah.
Does it start out in portrait or landscape?
It starts out as a like square
Square?
ish, like a window.
Guess that's a compromise. They couldn't decide portrait or landscape, so they went
It's kind of like a
square.
square. But
Do you
if
have a
you are
small screen? Was
using
that a small screen? No.
no, it's just like wide,
No?
ultra wide,
Okay.
just screen, just window.
Just testing, just checking on you.
And if you have multi-window support as well, which things support like Maui and stuff, it'll support multi-window stuff. I think because when you run Android apps on a Chromebook, that's how they sort of start. They sort of start in a tablet-esque view in a way. And in fact, the Amazon App Store tells you to, and the Windows documentation also is like, hey, you should optimize for tablet because just like
Yeah.
Apple does, right? They're like,
Yeah.
hey, you can run your iPhone app, but really you should probably optimize it for the tablet
Oh yeah,
to run
huge,
on Mac
especially on the
Catalyst.
Apple side. Like
Yep.
going from iPhone to iPad these days is crazy. Like there's so much extra stuff you have to do in iPad, and the architecture of your app can be wrong. So you just start tablet focused, and that's good.
Yeah.
I mean, in the Mac Catalyst world, I mean, this is basically the Mac Catalyst of Windows now.
Yep.
Since we they promised this for Windows Phone apps. Remember, they had like a Unity mode or something. Oh, it was going to be wonderful, but we never got it. So I guess we're just going to have to be happy with Androids on Windows. Um, the good news is, since you are conditionally compiling, you could refine the UI. I hate that there's a back button though. That would be a nice
Yeah.
way to figure out if you could get rid of that.
Just Android has it. Now, I will tell you this really quick. I want to mention you asked about the Echo Show devices, and technically, the Echo Show devices run Fire TV. So, if I made my app TV compatible, they would be on the Echo Show.
So why wasn't it TV compatible? Or is it
Uh,
just a
I,
different SDK?
I think in the manifest you need to define something,
Okay. Might
but
be worth doing. There's a lot
should
of TV devices out there.
it should all work. But I do feel like if I'm doing a TV app, like
I know.
I should use TV look and feel and
But
controls and testing.
for your skiing app, I think that would look great on a TV.
Yeah, maybe.
No? You don't have enough
I don't
pictures?
know.
You need more pictures.
I'd have to test it. I guess I'd have to buy an Echo or a Fire TV.
Chromecast. I'm all over the place. Fire TV.
Yeah, Fire TV stick thing. There you go.
Stick
Anyways, I
thing.
think it's pretty cool. I will report back on my Cadence app progress and how that goes. But I think it's just going to work, and it's not bad.
Yeah. Yeah. And thank you for this episode because I'm kicking myself and I'm going to be right behind you, buddy. I'm going to be on that store too. It'll be
Bring it.
very awkward for me though. I'm a little curious because there is a Windows version of like iCircuit and Kelka. What would happen? Would there be two on the store? And then people would have to be like, ooh, which one do I get? Don't like that. So have to
Well,
think that
in
through a
your
little bit.
case, in your case, you might submit it to the Amazon App Store, and then you might just leave the Windows unchecked.
Yep, you're right. Okay, good enough. I
But
just
if
yeah.
if they
Is-
buy
is-
it, if they buy it, then they get it in two places.
Then they have two versions of my app that are slightly different. It's gonna be
Yeah. But
hilarious.
they could buy it on the Fire tablet, and then they would also get
Mhm.
the Windows version paid for because it's tied to their Amazon account. Because it's the same app, right? It's
Yeah.
the same app
Okay.
on Windows and in this. So if you bought it on one, you get it on both.
But not if there's separate entries in two different stores.
Exactly. No,
Then
I'm saying if they
yeah.
bought the Android version of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This question's going to be a little more vague, so I apologize. But
Okay.
Android subsystem for Windows, what kind of hardware does that run on? Does that run on most things? I mean, as long as you can run Windows 11, it runs on all that hardware, or are there other devices it doesn't?
Yes, it is on Android 11. Or sorry, it's on Windows 11. It's running Android version 13 is what it's based on of. There's a bunch of release notes. And specifically, it is available on all Windows 11 devices,
Okay.
but only in select country. But it is a growing list
Oh,
of countries.
interesting. Okay.
Yes.
So if the computer's good enough to run Windows 11, it can run these things. Got it.
Yes, that is correct. Okay, so it says it needs 8 GB of RAM. It needs an SSD, solid state drive, or SSD recommended. Those are the same things.
Recommended.
X64 or ARM64. And
Both. Okay.
it needs a machine that in virtualization is turned on, and that's it. And then it's just specific countries, but they have opened it up to a lot more countries outside the US. So
It'd be
that is
fun.
for sure.
You only ship a ARM version of the app. What kind of APK did you upload? Was it just ARM7, ARM64. No, it's ARM64. Did you have an Intel in there?
I did. Did I have an Intel? I did not have an Intel in there. No, I just shipped an ARM
Okay.
version of it. So,
And the computer you're running it on is Intel, so they're at least doing some emulation. That's fun.
yep. Yeah, both. So I have an ARM Windows device and a non-ARM Windows device, and they
Yeah.
both work great.
Cool.
Because I think of it like this: is like when you, I guess when you run the Android emulator, it's the x86 one, but
Yeah.
then it's not running on an emulator, right? It's running on the Windows subsystem for Android, so
Yeah.
it's like running Androidy things. I would be interested if I guess if I didn't really read it, but I guess I should I should test
Well,
x86 ones. But the
yeah.
default out of the box is not to ship x86 Android apps at all. So they're just ARM devices. So I
Okay.
must just run them.
Just a sign of the times. It's just weird. ARM64 has become the lingua franca of apps.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
Anyways,
I'm assuming, like Rosetta, they just recompile it at some level and stash it away. It'd be fun to dig into the actual subsystem with WinDebug and get into the kernel debugger and see exactly which instruction set it's executing the app under. I'm sure someone at Microsoft could tell us.
I am. That's one thing I don't know. I'm really, really interested in. So, anyways, there you go. Yeah, let me see. Install. It must just be.
Well, you would assume on
Yeah.
ARM it would run the ARM, but you never know. These things are crazy.
Yeah. I just, whatever I had, shipped it. And it went, did the things. Anyways, I think it's pretty cool.
Congratulations on the app release. That's number one. Number two, thanks for reminding us all this is a possibility and for making me feel guilty. Thanks.
Anything is possible. All right. Well, that's going to do it for this week's Amazon App Store filled merge conflict. You can tweet at us. You can follow us. If you're watching us on YouTube, you can like and subscribe, tell your friends about it. You can listen to it on any podcast application if you want to see our face. Or if you do want to see our face, you can also see it on YouTube. Lots of options to listen to this podcast or watch this
Or watch.
podcast. I haven't
Are we
really figured it out.
AIs? Are you the AI?
My robot. All right, that's going to do for this week's merge conflict. So I should probably edit this, but here's what happens, folks. Live to tape. That's what's going to do it for this week's merge conflict. So until next time, I'm James Montemagno.
And I'm Frank Kruger. Thanks for watching and listening.
Peace.